Hello and welcome. I'm Ramesh Ramachandran and this is Express News. PM Modi chairs the Cabinet Committee on Security over Pahalgam terror attack being held at PM's residence. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh, Home Minister Amit Shah, External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar and NSA Ajit Doval are present. Prime Minister Modi held an emergency meeting with National Security Advisor Ajit Doval and External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar at the Delhi airport immediately upon his arrival from Saudi Arabia as he took stock of the situation following the terror attack in Pahalgam that claimed 26 lives. India's Home Minister Amit Shah inspected the site of the terror attack in Pahalgam. The minister reviewed the security situation in the Baisaran Valley. Minister Shah reached the Baisaran Meadow, the terror attack site in Pahalgam, on Wednesday morning. Earlier in the day, Minister Shah paid homage to the victims by laying a wreath at a poignant ceremony in Srinagar. The Home Minister and the Lieutenant Governor of J&K Manoj Sinha met with the family members of the Pahalgam terror victims. The Home Minister also met the injured in the hospital. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh warned of a befitting response to the Pahalgam terror attack. He made the remarks at the Arjan Singh Memorial Lecture in New Delhi. Earlier, Minister Singh held a meeting with the chiefs of the three armed forces in New Delhi to discuss the security situation. To help passengers at the Srinagar airport, authorities have set up a control room to monitor the smooth transition of passengers and facilitation. All the escorting families of victims are being taken care of with due respect and serving of refreshments in reserved lounges. India's aviation minister announced that in addition to the 4 special flights from Srinagar, 2 to Delhi and 2 to Mumbai, 3 more flights to Delhi have been added for Wednesday. All airlines operating from Srinagar have waived off cancellation and rescheduling charges. Arrangements for adequate seating capacity along with arrangements of food and snacks with tea and water for the waiting passengers has been arranged. India's Tourism Minister Gajendra Singh Shekhawat has condemned the recent terror attack in Pahalgam, saying that a few elements are once again attempting to revive separatism and terrorism in Jammu and Kashmir through their malicious intentions. Security agencies have released sketches of 3 of the terrorists involved in Tuesday's heinous attack in Jammu and Kashmir's Pahalgam that left 26 people dead. At least 26 people were killed after gunmen opened fire on tourists from several states visiting the Baisaran Valley in Jammu and Kashmir's Pahalgam on Tuesday. The Resistance Front, a front of Lashkar-e-Taiba, the banned Pakistan-based terror group, claimed responsibility. The Indian Navy Chief Admiral Dinesh K. Tripathi paid respects to the terror victims by laying a wreath at the mortal remains of Lieutenant Vinay Narwal, who was killed in the Pahalgam terror attack on Tuesday. Jammu and Kashmir Chief Minister Omar Abdullah bemoaned the terror attack. He said it was heartbreaking to see the exodus of tourists from the valley following the gruesome terror attack. World leaders, US President Donald Trump, Russian President Vladimir Putin, United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres, Sri Lankan President Anurag Kumara Dissanayake and Nepal's Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli condemned the terrorist attack and expressed solidarity with India. Other leaders, including EU Chief Ursula von der Leyen, Israel Foreign Minister Gideon Saar, Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, Italy's Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni, UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer, and Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese condemned the terror attack. US Vice President J.D. Vance spoke to Prime Minister Modi and he strongly condemned the terror attack in Jammu and Kashmir. He expressed that the United States is ready to provide all assistance in the joint fight against terrorism. The US Vice President on Wednesday condemned the Pahalgam terror attack and vowed that US is ready to provide all assistance to India. The chief advisor of the interim government of Bangladesh, Professor Muhammad Yunus, on Wednesday condemned the terror attacks in Jammu and Kashmir. The Prime Minister of Mauritius, Dr. Naveen Ramgoolam, called PM Modi to offer his condolences, and New Zealand Prime Minister Christopher Luxon also expressed solidarity with the people of India. The front pages of Kashmir's leading newspapers in English and Urdu went black on Wednesday, a stark visual protest against the brutal terrorist attack in Pahalgam. The Kashmir Valley observed a complete shutdown over the brutal killings of tourists in the Pahalgam meadows for the first time in 35 years on Wednesday. The locals have shut down shops in protest. The protesters held black flags at the historic Lal Chowk in Srinagar, symbolic of the Black Day that befell the valley on Tuesday. The Chamber of Commerce and Industries Kashmir, Jammu and Kashmir Hoteliers Club, all travel associations, transporters, restaurant owners and civil society groups in the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir jointly called for the shutdown. Security across the Kashmir Valley has been increased manifold after the attack. The joint combing operation by Army, CRPF and J&K Police is underway in the region. A team of the National Investigation Agency reached Pahalgam terrorist attack site on Wednesday and will assist the Jammu and Kashmir Police with the investigation. The Indian Army has foiled a major infiltration bid in the Baramulla region of Jammu and Kashmir, and 2 terrorists have been eliminated. Large quantities of weapons and ammunition have been recovered. The Army said the operation is still underway. US Vice President J.D. Vance, who is on a 4-day visit to India, visited the Taj Mahal in Agra on Wednesday, along with Second Lady Usha Vance and their children. The Indian indices gained momentum on Wednesday at close. Sensex jumped 463 points at 80,059, while Nifty closed at 24,306. The Indian rupee ended 22 paise lower at 85.42 per dollar on Wednesday. Gold futures maturing on June 5 were priced at rupees 95,948 per 10 grams on the multi-commodity exchange. The silver futures for May 5 maturity stood at rupees 95,662 per kg on the MCX. India's private sector growth rose to an 8-month high in April, fueled by strong demand and a notable surge in foreign orders for manufactured goods. The International Monetary Fund on Tuesday slashed its growth forecast for the United States, China and most countries, citing the impact of US tariffs now at 100-year highs. Ukraine peace talks involving international foreign ministers scheduled to take place in London on Wednesday have been postponed as US Secretary of State Marco Rubio abruptly cancelled his trip to London, but a meeting of lower-level officials will still take place. The Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov on Wednesday said Russia was continuing a dialogue on a possible settlement with the US, but was not in contact with Europe or Ukraine. Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky pushed back against calls for Ukraine to recognize Russia's control of Crimea. A Russian drone targeted Ukraine's second largest city of Kharkiv, killing at least 9 people and targeting civilian infrastructure in east, south and central Ukraine. In another strike, Russian drone injured at least 2 civilians in Odessa while damaging civilian infrastructure and businesses in the Poltava region on Wednesday. US President Donald Trump on Tuesday backed off from threats to fire Federal Reserve Chief Jerome Powell after days of intensifying criticisms of the central bank chief for not cutting interest rates. Trump said that high tariffs on goods from China will come down substantially, but it won't be zero. 2 US judges on Tuesday extended temporary blocks on some deportations of Venezuelan migrants and signaled that President Trump's invocation of a 1798 law may not survive judicial review. The White House brushed off criticism by more than 200 university and college presidents in a joint statement accused US President Trump's administration of political interference in higher education. President Trump will be on a 3-nation visit to the West Asian region. Trump will travel to Saudi Arabia, Qatar and the UAE from 13th to 16th May. Tesla CEO Elon Musk said on Tuesday that he will cut back his role in the Trump government as the company's latest profits and revenues showed a plunge during the beginning of the year. A US judge on Tuesday ordered President Trump's government to restore funding to Voice of America and other US-funded media. A massive blaze destroyed hundreds of homes in Philippines' Manila and early morning on Wednesday, leaving hundreds of residents without a home. The coffin carrying the body of Pope Francis was taken in procession on Wednesday to St. Peter's Basilica and will be on display till 25th of April. The funeral of the Pope Francis will be held on the 26th. Time for a very short break. Keep watching DD India.
I always believe a good story with the right vision can break boundaries. RRR proved that with the applause it got in the US market, in the Japanese market. World Audiovisual and Entertainment Summit, WAVES, is exactly doing that now, taking Indian entertainment global. So grab your seat, the adventure begins.
Connecting creators, connecting countries. WAVES 2025.
Welcome back. You're watching Express News. Heavy rain, thunderstorms and hail struck central China's Hunan province, causing flooding and damaging more than 200 houses. No casualties have been reported. Because of wildfires, Ocean County authorities in New Jersey have ordered mandatory evacuations for thousands, with major highways shut down. Eyewitness footage showed of smoke billowing from a massive wildfire in eastern New Jersey that has already spread over 3,200 acres. Hawaii's Kilauea volcano erupted, spewing fountains of lava in its 18th eruption since 23rd December last year. Though the eruption ended on Tuesday, Kilauea volcano remains at an orange alert level. Italy's Mount Etna lit up the night sky with bursts of strombolian activity as red-hot lava spilled from Europe's most active volcano. Costa Rica's volcano Poás erupted, ejecting a column of ash and smoke over 3 kilometers high. The volcano has been on an orange alert since March. A 4.6 magnitude earthquake shook Australia's New South Wales Hunter region, with tremors felt as far as Canberra. A strong tremor of 6.2 magnitude shook Turkey's Istanbul and the surrounding regions on Wednesday. No immediate reports of damage or injuries were reported. Saudi Arabia's Taif, known as the City of Roses for producing 300 million fragrant blooms annually, faces increasing threats from erratic weather patterns. Mourners gathered at the Cathedral of Our Lady of Arabia in Manama, the Gulf's largest Catholic cathedral, to honor the life of Pope Francis. Catholics in Bangkok attended a mass at Assumption Cathedral to mark the passing of Pope Francis. Several people paid their respects to the late Pope by visiting his statue at St. Louis Hospital, which displayed since its 2019 papal visit. Rome's iconic Colosseum, usually illuminated at night, remained dark as a tribute to Pope Francis. In Dili, hundreds of East Timorese Catholics gathered at the Lady Mary statue to mourn and pray for Pope Francis. Religious leaders and Argentine officials held an interfaith prayer at the Buenos Aires Metropolitan Cathedral to honor Pope Francis. Scientists are raising concerns over the decline of mole crabs on Brazilian beaches, citing human activity and environmental change. France was the guest of honor at Morocco's 17th International Agriculture Exhibition, highlighting agriculture and water in sustainable rural development. Nepal's first nationwide snow leopard survey estimates nearly 400 of the elusive cats in the Himalayan region. The animals were tracked using motion sensor cameras and genetic analysis across 7 key areas. The Hong Kong Jockey Club Charities Trust is allocating over $400 million to provide free music and sports programs for students in low-income areas. The 4th edition of Rally Jameel, the first women-only navigational rally in the Middle East, launched in the ancient city of Petra. 70 teams from 37 countries and 25 motorsport federations are competing in the 1,500-kilometer rally from Jordan to Saudi Arabia. Children across Turkey and abroad celebrated April 23rd, a public holiday marking the Turkish Grand National Assembly's founding and children's well-being. Chaunda Valley in northern Pakistan turned pink with apricot and cherry blossoms, creating a striking contrast with snow-covered fields. US actor Demi Moore has been named People magazine's most beautiful person. The issue hits newsstands on 25th April. The fans of Netflix's You, starring Penn Badgley, can celebrate the show's final season at Mooney's Bookstore pop-up event in New York City on Wednesday. Hollywood actor Sydney Sweeney is set to produce a movie adaptation of Sega's 1986 arcade driving adventure video game called Outrun. Prime Video has released first-look images of We Were Liars, adapted from E. Lockhart's best-selling novel. It will premiere on 18th June. US media personality Khloe Kardashian teams up with Hulu to announce a new reality spin-off show, Calabasas Behind the Gates. The cast of Thunderbolts, a Marvel Comics-based film, walked the red carpet in Leicester Square on Tuesday for their London premiere. Its global cinematic rollout begins on 30th April. I Know What You Did Last Summer sequel's trailer has been released after a month of its reveal at CinemaCon. It is set to hit theaters on 18th July. Sonic the Hedgehog 3, based on the globally popular Sonic video game series, set to have its premiere on Prime Video in India on 24th April. The trailer of The Royals, featuring Bollywood actors Zinat Aman, Bhumi Pednekar and more, has been released. The film will be out on Netflix on 9th May. 23rd April marks the death anniversary of the veteran Indian director Satyajit Ray. His methods of direction are still widely adapted by both Hollywood and Bollywood directors. KL Rahul smashed a half-century and guided Delhi Capitals to an 8-wicket victory over his former franchise Lucknow Super Giants in their IPL clash on Tuesday. Lucknow Super Giants batter Mitchell Marsh completed 1,000 IPL runs with his explosive 45-run knock against Delhi Capitals. KL Rahul surpassed stalwarts David Warner, Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli to become the fastest to reach 5,000 runs in the IPL. Sunrisers Hyderabad will look for turnaround against in-form Mumbai Indians in the 41st match of the Indian Premier League. Hosts Sri Lanka women announced a 17-member squad with Chamari Atapattu as the captain for their upcoming Tri-Nation series against India and South Africa. Former Australia batter Keith Stackpole, who played in 43 tests and scored 7 centuries, has passed away at the age of 84. Zimbabwe secured their first Test match victory after 4 years as they defeated hosts Bangladesh by 3 wickets on day 4 of the first Test match. Manchester City secured a crucial 2-1 Premier League victory over Aston Villa on Tuesday. Barcelona inched closer to the La Liga title with a 1-0 win over Mallorca. Cristiano Ronaldo's Al Nassr are AFC Champions League glory on home soil as the final knockout stages begin on Friday. Former world number 1 Naomi Osaka suffered first-round elimination from the Madrid Open after losing to Lucia Bronchetti. Meanwhile, Alexandra Yala defeated Victoria Tomova. She will take on second seed Iga Swiatek in the next round. Former tennis world number 1 Andre Agassi will make his pickleball debut at the US Open Pickleball Championships next week. Pole vaulter Dev Meena breaks men's pole vault national record after winning gold at the Federation Cup 2025. Olympian Jyoti Yadaji bagged the gold medal in the women's 100-meter hurdles event at the National Federation Senior Athletics Competition in Kerala. And it's a wrap. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.